Well, scene one was pretty crazy in Fences, and scene two just gets a little bit crazier. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, the 31st, our last day of March. The month has just flown by. Time just flies by. How about that? Scene two in Fences, real quick. I don't want to go into a long thing like I did yesterday because I know exactly like 12 of you enjoyed that out of 60 something. So I do want to knock this out real quick though. Basically, what Troy is accused of. Okay, first of all, 6 months ahead. So they have the big argument. Alberta's pregnant. Troy is going to do what he can for her, he says. They have a huge argument, Troy and Rose do. And that's the end of the scene when he gives Corey strike two, which of course you know, storytelling 101. If he's already given him strike one in one scene and then strike two in another scene, chances are really good. I wonder if he'll ever give him strike three. Yes, it would be weird if the play ended without that. So that's down the road. Acts 2, Scene 2. First of all, let's talk about Troy and Gabriel's relationship. Gabriel's been committed because of his mental problems. Troy swears he didn't sign the paper to have that done. Rose, after 6 months of really icing out, basically they're roommates at this point. Rose hasn't talked to Troy, hasn't acknowledged Troy, doesn't want to talk about Alberta, doesn't want to talk about Alberta's baby. They're living in the same house, but other than that, that's about it. Troy and Rose, that's the marriage at this point, so it's not good. And Troy has been going to see Alberta still, and has, as I said earlier, he wants to do the right thing for the baby, so he says. And so, of course, by doing the right thing for it, he's going to bring home the money to Rose, and he's going to fulfill his obligation financially to Rose and the family. But then he does. He goes home. He goes home to his other house, basically, the apartment with Alberta, and he's with Alberta every day during this pregnancy. And take that as you will. You could say one of two things. You could say, hey man, he's doing the right thing. He got this woman pregnant. He wants to make sure that she's being taken care of. That's true. That's true. But I guess there are ways of doing that without having to almost kind of rub Rose's face in it and going and seeing your mistress every day. I don't know. I'd be interested in hearing what you guys think about that. That's always been my take on it. Anyway, Troy is now alienating. When we talk about our themes, he's now building these. So he's built a fence around Rose. Oh, I'm sorry, between him and Rose. He's built a fence between himself and his son Corey, clearly. Hasn't done much, and you'll see in this act, hasn't done much to maintain a strong friendship with Bono. And then, of course, now he has, and Rose even calls him out on this, says, you do Gabriel just like you did Corey. He's built a fence by having Gabriel committed, so he doesn't have to deal with him anymore. He's basically alienating everyone so that he doesn't have to emotionally involve himself in any of these people. And whether he knows he's doing that or not, I don't know. I don't know. But he's doing it. And he'll swear up and down he didn't do that to Gabriel. I didn't sign the paper. The paper had your signature on it, Troy. The paper had your signature on it. What do you mean you didn't sign it? I mean, the evidence is right there. The big thing I want to talk to you guys about today, though, is the back half of the scene. If you've read it, and I hope you have, or if you've seen the play or the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a phone call. Rose needs to answer the phone. There's a phone call that arrives at the house, and I'll read this part for you. Rose says, Troy, that was the hospital. Alberta had the baby. Troy says, what's she have? What is it? Rose says, it's a girl. Troy says, I better get on down to the hospital to see her. Rose says, Troy, Rose, I got to see her now. That's only right. What's the matter? The baby's all right, ain't it? And Rose says, Alberta died having the baby. So that's a complication in a lot of ways. First of all, it's tragic that this woman died giving birth to her child. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Okay. Number two, the fact that Rose had to be the one to break that news to Troy. Okay, considering what happened in scene one. All right. Now what we have here is that the baby girl is healthy and has arrived, and she's here without a mother. And so this baby is now going to have to depend entirely on Troy Maxson. Troy says, died. You say she's dead. Alberta's dead. He can't believe it. Rose says, they said they'd done all they could. They couldn't do nothing for her. The baby, how's the baby? Rose says, they say it's healthy. I wonder who's going to bury her. Interesting that Rose says, I wonder who's going to bury Alberta. Troy said, she had a family, Rose. She wasn't living in the world by herself. I know she wasn't living in the world by herself. And Troy says, next thing you're going to want to know if she had any insurance. Rose says, Troy, you ain't got to talk like that. Troy says, that's the first thing that jumped out of your mouth. Who's going to bury her? Like I'm fixing to take on that task for myself. Rose says, I am your wife. Don't push me away. Hello, fences, another fence, okay? Don't push me away. You're pushing me away. You've been doing it for 6 months. Troy says, of course, I ain't pushing nobody away. Just give me some space. That's all. Just give me some room to breathe. And Troy again has a little soliloquy with Mr. Death. Troy has claimed at other times in the play that he's met death and he's had to deal with death before. And boy, this is a big one because now there's a child involved. His mistress, Alberta, is dead. And they got to make some decisions. And how about that for timing? Doorbell rings, dog starts barking. You know what though? 6.5. Thank you, UPS man. How about that for timing? Anyway, hey, Daisy, come here. Come here. Daisy. Hold on, I'll be right back. Sorry, everybody, I couldn't get Daisy to appear. She got really startled and peed on the floor. So I'm going to go clean up dog pee. Sorry, I like to involve Daisy in the videos. She wasn't having it. She apparently the doorbell and the UPS man, that was just too much for her. So how about this for end of the video? Now you know a little bit more. For like the 12 of you actually watching these videos, now you know a little bit more about what goes on at the Hall household. Delivery people showing up, dogs barking and then peeing because they don't like the doorbell and the noise, I guess. I don't know. And I guess she thought I was going to kick her or something. That was always a possibility. Anyway, enjoy Fences Scene 2. Go look at that. Check out Fences Scene 3. I'm going to do the video for that tomorrow. A lot from Scene 1 and Scene 2 of this act. You can almost build everything you need out of these two scenes. So, I guess that's it for today. For Daisy and the delivery man and Mrs. Hall and the piddle of yellow liquid on our living room floor, goodbye to all of you.